Good morning, everyone. Life isn't always fair. There will be days when nothing goes the way you hoped. People will disappoint you. Opportunities will disappear. Failures will hit you hard. And in those moments, talent alone won't help. Luck won't save you. Even motivation won't be enough. What keeps you standing when everything else falls apart are your habits. Habits are the invisible force that decide whether you give up or keep going. When you build the right habits, you become unshakable. No matter how tough life becomes, your habits protect your mind, fuel your actions, and give you strength until the storm passes. Motivation is temporary, but consistency lasts. Anyone can feel motivated at the beginning when the dream feels close and excitement is high. But motivation fades. There will be mornings you don't want to wake up, days when you don't want to try, and nights when your mind tells you to quit. If you depend only on motivation, you'll stop the moment life gets heavy. That's why consistency is the real foundation of strength. It's the act of showing up every single day, no matter how you feel, that builds resilience. When life gets difficult, consistency becomes your lifeline. Picture a storm at sea. The waves rise, the wind roars, everything feels uncertain. Motivation in that storm is like a small boat tossed around by waves. It can't survive for long. But consistency is like an anchor. It keeps you grounded when everything else is out of control. Every small step, repeated again and again, builds the chain that keeps you steady. You may not see results immediately, but over time, those steady actions build strength that outlasts the storm. Most people give up because they want results too quickly. They start something new full of energy, but when the path gets hard or progress slows down, they stop. They think they failed, but the truth is, they just didn't stay long enough to see success. Success is never built on a single big moment. It's built on quiet habits, done day after day when no one is watching. Greatness is born in silence. It is not the burst of energy that matters. It is the persistence that continues when excitement fades. Think about training your body. One workout won't make you strong. Even 10 won't make you unbreakable. But if you commit to exercising daily, even when you're tired, even when it rains, even when no one notices, over months and years, your body transforms. Your health, your energy, your strength all come from consistent effort. The same is true for business, learning, relationships, every part of life. Motivation can start the journey, but only consistency finishes it. Consistency also builds something even more powerful: self-trust. When you keep promises to yourself day after day, you prove that you can rely on your own word. That self-trust is priceless in hard times. Many people fall apart not because the problem is too big, but because they stopped believing in themselves. They broke too many promises to their own soul. But if you've built consistent habits, you carry evidence of your discipline. You remember the days you showed up when it was hard. That memory becomes your proof that you can handle it again, and consistency creates momentum. At first, it's difficult. The resistance is high, but every time you repeat the action, it gets easier. Over time, what once felt heavy becomes natural. Waking up early, focusing on your work, staying disciplined, all turn from effort into identity. That's the hidden magic of consistency. It doesn't just change your behavior, it changes who you are. Once it becomes part of your identity, you don't have to fight for it anymore. It becomes automatic. And in the hardest seasons of life, that automatic discipline becomes your secret strength. Many people wait for the right moment, when they feel ready or when conditions are perfect. But that moment never comes. Life will always be messy. There will always be something standing in your way. Consistency means you show up even when you're tired. You move forward even when you're unsure. You act even when life is unfair. That's what separates those who succeed from those who quit. When you look at people who stay strong during hard times, you'll notice they're not always the most talented or the most intelligent. They're often just the most consistent. They've built routines that carry them one step at a time. When failure hits, they don't collapse. Their habits carry them. When rejection comes, their discipline keeps them steady. Consistency teaches patience, a rare quality in today's world. Everyone wants instant results, but true growth takes time. You stop looking for shortcuts and start valuing long-term progress. Challenges don't disappear overnight. They require steady effort. Patience and consistency together give you endurance, the power to keep walking even when the road feels endless. Now let's talk about discipline, the foundation of every strong person. Discipline builds inner strength because it pushes you to do what's necessary even when you don't feel like it. Life doesn't always offer comfort. Sometimes the only way forward is through pain, sacrifice, and unseen effort. Motivation might get you started, but discipline keeps you going when everything in you wants to stop. It's the invisible power that shapes your character and gives you control. Without discipline, you're controlled by feelings, and feelings are fragile. With discipline, you gain mastery over yourself. That's where true strength begins. The real test of discipline comes when life is unfair. Anyone can stay positive when things go right. But when the world turns against you, when people doubt you, when failure crushes your spirit, discipline decides if you stand or fall. Discipline isn't about talent or intelligence. It is about forcing yourself to do the right thing even when you don't want to. Each time you do something hard, you train your mind. You wake up early when you want to sleep in. You stay calm when you want to react. You keep going when you want to quit. Each small victory builds mental toughness. Just like lifting weights strengthens your body, discipline strengthens your mind. When life's storms arrive, that strength becomes your greatest weapon. Many people see discipline as punishment, but in truth, it's freedom. Without discipline, you're trapped by impulses and distractions. You waste time, energy, and potential. Discipline breaks that cycle. It allows you to choose the harder path today so that tomorrow becomes easier. That's real strength. Being in control of yourself instead of being controlled by circumstances. There will always be days when quitting feels easier than continuing. Discipline is the inner voice that says, "Not today." It reminds you that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Discipline doesn't remove pain. It transforms it into growth. Every sacrifice, every act of self-control, every moment you choose the hard way builds resilience, and discipline brings clarity. When emotions blur your vision, discipline cuts through the noise. It tells you to stay focused, to stick to the process, to take one step forward even when you can't see the end. You don't need to know the whole path, just the next step. Discipline also builds self-respect. Every time you say you'll do something and follow through, you strengthen your trust in yourself. That self-respect turns into confidence, and confidence becomes your shield in hard times. Behind every success story, you'll find discipline. Athletes train even when no one is watching. Entrepreneurs work even when the results are uncertain. Students study when it feels boring. Discipline isn't glamorous, but its results always are. When life gets hard, discipline stops you from making excuses. Excuses are comforting, but they weaken you. Responsibility is heavy, but it strengthens you. Discipline teaches you to carry that weight proudly, and with discipline comes peace. At first it feels restrictive, but once you live with it, life becomes simpler. Chaos fades. You gain control. You know what to do because you've trained yourself to do it. That peace is power. Staying calm when the world around you isn't. Discipline is also contagious. When others see your focus and commitment, they're inspired. You become a source of strength for your family, your team, your community. Ultimately, discipline makes you unbreakable. It prepares you for challenges before they arrive. It gives you control, self-respect, and peace in chaos. Motivation fades, emotions change, but discipline remains steady. It's the quiet strength that keeps you standing when everything else falls apart. Now, let's talk about the final piece of this mindset, adaptability. Life will never go exactly as planned. Markets shift, people leave, problems appear without warning. You can prepare all you want, but surprises will come. Those who survive and grow aren't the strongest or smartest, they are the most adaptable. Adaptability is the ability to bend without breaking. It's the heart of resilience. When you hold too tightly to the past, to routines, old ways, outdated beliefs, you become stuck. Real strength isn't forcing the world to match your plan. It's adjusting yourself to match reality. When you learn to adapt quickly, you stop wasting time resisting change. You start finding solutions. You turn problems into opportunities. Change is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. Everyone fears change because it's uncomfortable. But life itself is constant change. Seasons shift, doors close, new ones open. When you fight change, you suffer. When you embrace it, you grow. Adaptability teaches you to ask, how can I use this? Instead of, why is this happening to me? That small shift turns you from a victim into a creator. A flexible mind is an open mind. When challenges come, you don't panic. You pivot. You learn, adjust, and try again. Every adjustment strengthens your confidence. You start to believe that no matter what happens, you can handle it. Adaptability also destroys the fear of failure. When you're flexible, you know that failure isn't final. If one plan fails, you make another. You recover faster, you stay in motion. Resilience isn't about never falling. It's about rising every time you do. Adaptability makes that possible. When you combine consistency, discipline, and adaptability, you become unstoppable. No matter how dark life gets, no matter how uncertain the future seems, these three habits keep you strong, calm, and unbreakable. So when life gets hard, remember this. Don't chase comfort. Don't wait for perfect timing. Build habits that make you resilient. Stay disciplined when others give up. Adapt when life changes direction. Because strength isn't built in comfort, it's built in the storm. And those who keep going when others quit, those are the ones who rise. Stay strong, stay consistent, stay disciplined, and never stop adapting. That is the Jack Ma mindset, the mindset of unstoppable growth.